Welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia Wilmsen. I'm a mindset and life coach for successful entrepreneurs and C-suite leaders. And here on the channel, I talk all things mindset, manifestation, and business growth. So it's a beautiful mix of everything that is important if you want to lead a successful business and also enjoy a life of happiness and ease and beautiful, fulfilling relationships. And today's topic is actually relationships. Today's topic is what you can do if you find yourself in your romantic relationship and not fully supported. So you have a lot of responsibility at work. You have a lot of weight on your shoulders. You have a lot of things to think about. And then you come home and you don't feel supported. You don't feel your partner understands you. You don't feel you can relax at home and all of that. And this I see happen with a lot of clients. I really see a lot of, hey, I have so much to do at work. I'm like working hard. I have so much to take care of. I have the weight on my shoulders. And when I come home, it's the same thing. I can't relax. There is no one to help me or to support me. I have to take care of my family as well. So there is actually no place where I can let my guard down, where I can just be, where I can feel supported and fulfilled. And it's a big issue. And if you're a successful person and you need to take a clear or a very strong look at your personal relationships, because they can make or break you, and they can make or break your business. It is very important. I have been there. I know what I'm talking about, and I know from my clients. If you don't have a supportive spouse, a supportive partner, someone on your level who can support you and cheer you on and support you when things are not going well, but rather does the opposite, that can bring you down and you don't have the energy to lead powerfully at work or in your business. You don't have the energy to lead yourself powerfully. It takes so much energy if you're in a romantic relationship, and that takes energy from you instead of fulfilling or filling you up with energy. And today's video is basically a success story. It's one of my clients who experienced that and where we turned around all of that. Because the thing is, most people think they are stuck with that. They think like, oh my God, my partner cannot change. Big thought out there. We cannot change other people, which is false. I'll teach you how. So it's this idea we cannot change the other person. Like I am with that person, I can make the decision to leave. But very often, if there are kids involved, if there are houses involved, money, it's not such an easy decision. And you have a long story with that person. So perhaps you don't want a divorce. You don't want to separate. You actually love that person. But if it doesn't bring you energy, we have to change something, because you have to understand that your personal relationships can actually break you and your business and your career. So we have to find a way to turn that around. And there is a way, and I teach you in this specific video. And what I did with my client. So with my client, he was in love with his wife. Everything was perfect. However, he had a lot of weight in his business. He was a multiple six-figure business owner. He still is. And he had a lot of weight on his shoulders for a lot of people, for a big family. And he had this feeling of his wife, he has to take care of his wife as well. Like there is no equal share at home. Like he had to even shoulder her weight, basically, like mentally on his shoulders. So there was no support. There was no strength at home where he just could relax and he could let his guard down and be calm and supported. It was not the case. And we did work on that, but we didn't work on that through changing his wife in the form that he had to have the talk with her, that they had to get counseling, that they had to go somewhere together. It was all the work we did with him. So yes, we can change relationships. Yes, we can change how other people show up in our reality. And it starts and ends with us. It starts and ends with you, how you are thinking, how you're showing up, what you're doing, how you're feeling, and what your behaviors are. We only take care of that. We don't have to talk with the wife, with the husband, with a partner. No, nothing. You do the work with yourself and everything shifts. So with him, it was the case that we talked about that. It was really like, hey, what would you like to experience in your relationship? So as I think I mentioned in one of my first videos here, the first point is gain clarity. What do you want? What do you want in your relationship? And I know in the beginning it's hard because you think, I cannot have that. You think it's not possible. Set this aside and bear with me and stay with me. If you could decide how you wanted your relationship to be, what would it be? Whether it's possible or not, doesn't matter. How would it be? And you can, of course, make the choice that I don't want to be with my partner anymore. I want a new partner. That's fine. But understand that you have to shift your patterns. Otherwise, your next partner will show up in the very same way that your partner right now is showing up. So just getting a new partner is the big mistake that people make. It will not change a thing. They could be the perfect partner for the first weeks, and then slowly they will show up as your current partner, and you have to get the next one. So actually, just do the work on yourself, and then you can still decide if you want to be with a different partner. So I have that with my clients. A few clients really want changes in their current partners, and we work on that, and their partners change. And other clients, they say like, actually, I'm looking for a new relationship. And then we work on that. Both are fine. However, you have to take care of your patterns. Otherwise, it will just be a never-ending loop and you will experience the same things again and again, just with new people, so to say. So first, gain clarity. What do you want? New partner, same partner. And what are the things you want in the relationship and in the partner? Like, how do you want them to show up? Like, what is it that you want? And how do you want to feel in the relationship? For example, I want to be fulfilled. I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel supported. I want to feel safe. I want to feel loved and chosen and supported and cared for and admired. And how do you want the relationship to be? I want this to be a place of adventure. I want to go on amazing trips with my partner. I want to do great things. I want to be spontaneous. I want us to go back to when we first met. I want us to go back and feel and experience that excitement and that joy again, because it's possible. People say after like several years, it's not possible anymore. It's all BS. You can get the honeymoon phase back. You can get this attraction and admiration and a happiness and fulfillment back with the same partner. If you want to think and believe these assumptions of like after a few years, it's just done, you cannot get the excitement back. If you want to live with this assumption, this will be your reality. And you can get rid of that and you can decide, no, not in my reality. I actually want amazing admiration and intimacy with my partner, even though we have been together 10 years or something. So this can be changed. And you have to decide what you want. You have to have clarity what you want. And then the next step is to think about 3 important things. What are your thoughts and assumptions about yourself in that relationship at the moment? For example, I'm not supported, I'm not loved, I'm not cared for, and taken for granted. I'm the one having to carry all the weight. So these are some examples, of course, like from my client where I shared the success story. It was really like, I'm not supported. I have to do all the work. It's all on me. I'm not supported. I'm actually not admired and loved anymore. And then the next step is, or the next part is, what do you think about your partner? So first one was, what do I think about myself? And then the next one, what do I think about my partner? And for the first one, it can also be, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to be loved. I'm not worthy to be chosen. That can also happen and often happens in relationships after the first stage of honeymoon phase. Like all the fears start showing up. So then about your partner, what do you think about your partner? My partner is lazy. My partner doesn't show up for me. She can't support herself. She's childish. She's not, or he, of course, is not interested in personal development. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to support me. They are really not good enough. They are not my equal. They are showing up like on a much lower level than I am. So these are the thoughts about your partner, perhaps. And this is what was showing up for my client. And then the third piece is, what do you think about relationships in general? I like that one. So if you have thoughts of like relationships always end badly, I'm always being left. Relationships are horrible. Relationships, they fizzle out. In the beginning, it's honeymoon, it's beautiful, it's romantic. And then later on, it just, the passion fades. These are all beliefs that you're holding that are creating your reality. It's not a reality per se. It does not have to be your experience, but it is your experience because you're thinking that at the moment. So really do a lot of self-inquiry here and a lot of self-reflection. What do you think about your relationships? And go back into your childhood. What have you experienced in your own childhood with your parents? Did they separate? Did they fight all the time? Did they not seemingly adore and love each other anymore and were just like basically two people living together taking care of the kids, and there was like no love and admiration and passion? Was one always degrading the other and like talking down on them? Was there a lot of emotional manipulation? Was there physical abuse? Like what was going on? What was your evidence when growing up? Because all of that influences how you see relationships nowadays and what you project onto your own relationship. There's a lot of work here to do, and of course you can hire me, we can work on that together, or you just take whatever I said right now and really do this self-inquiry at the moment. And when you have done that, the next step is to see all these limiting beliefs that you have put on your partner. Like, they don't show up for me, they don't support me, they don't love me anymore, they are not interested in physical intimacy, they are always interested in other people. They are really a little bit stupid. They are like not very self-sufficient. You know, I have to do all the work. These thoughts need to change. These assumptions need to change. They need to change now if you want to experience something different. And this is what I did with my client. We really uncovered a lot of old, deep stuff from childhood, from the own relationship of his parents that he experienced, the role that he had to take on early on in his childhood, and everything he experienced and what he made it mean about himself. I'm only worthy if I give a lot. Big one for high achievers out there. Big one for the people who hustle and work hard. Very often there is something like an underlying assumption of, I am only worthy and loved when I achieve big things. And guess what? You will never be happy and satisfied and feel loved if you don't keep achieving. And this is a vicious cycle. And if you want to stop that and feel loved and adored just because you exist, this is what we have to change. And this is what we did with my clients. We got him to believe and assume that he was worthy and loved just because he was existing, just because he was born. He didn't need to do anything for that. And so we worked on his self-worth. I am worthy of love, no matter what, whether I work or not, it doesn't matter. I am worthy of relaxation. I can relax and just be. It's safe to relax. It's safe to be. It's safe to be supported. It's safe to let go of control. And then we had to take care of his assumptions about his wife, because I did ask him, do you see her as your equal? Do you want your wife to be your equal? And he was flabbergasted, because he said, like, I haven't thought about that like that. And actually, she is not. I don't see her as my equal at all, because I'm doing all the work. I'm doing everything. She's almost like a third child in my family. And I am desiring that so much. I want support. I want my partner to be my equal. And we had to again work on worthiness issues. Am I worthy of, and am I good enough that someone is on my level next to me? You know, like there were some things which made him see her as less than him. And we needed to see what is it, and he needed to let that go and feel worthy because he was, and not because he needed to let go of the assumptions I'm only worthy when I'm above other people. So, and of course he managed to do that with my help, and he stepped into, I want my wife to be my equal, and she is my equal, and she, does things at home, and she supports me, and she is such a loving support. Things like that. He shifted his whole assumptions about his wife. And guess what? His wife started showing up differently. His wife started getting interested in internal work, in inner work, in mindset work. His wife started showing up and saying like, hey, we could do this or that. We could do this for our child. Like she started to show up with initiative. She started growing next to him into his equal, It was crazy. And he didn't have like a single talk with her about that. It wasn't like, hey, you need to show up more. You need to be and support me. You need to be there for me. Nothing like that. It was all inner work. And she made basically a 180 shift and started to support him, started to show admiration and support for his business and being his biggest cheerleader, all of that he craved and had not gotten. So everything got better through his inner work. And for you, what to take from this video for you is to look at, what are my assumptions about myself? What do I think about myself? Am I worthy of love? Am I worthy of love without giving, without doing anything, just because I exist? Am I an amazing partner material? Like, even if you are not in a relationship and you are craving that, what are your assumptions about yourself? Then what are your assumptions about your partner? They are lazy. They are not, like taking care of the relationship. They don't admire me. They don't desire me. They are not interested in me anymore. They are going to leave me. All of these thoughts, what is it? What are you thinking about them? And what are you thinking about relationships in general? Relationships never work out. They don't go well. There's always one who has to take, the weight and the shoulder, like lift the shoulder and lift the weight and do the heavy work. There's one who's emotionally available and the other one not. So for example, if you say about your partner, often, this is what I hear from women, I have been guilty of that, my partner is not emotionally available. You are creating in that very second. If you want an emotionally available partner, you have to let go of that assumption. You have to start seeing your partner in the light of he or they are fully emotionally available. They are my biggest supporters. They are my biggest supporter. They are my biggest cheerleader. They are so evolved. They are so emotionally available. They can listen to me. They are very empathetic. They love to talk about inner work. Like, you can create these assumptions, then you have to persist in them until they show up. It was the case with my client as well. It didn't happen in one day. It was basically a process, I think, of 1 to 2 months, where we dug deeper and deeper, because we had to find out also why he had created these assumptions, to get like to an even deeper level of that. It wasn't just like, hey, I feel worthy of, like being loved totally. It was like, is it really feeling worthy? Is it feeling good enough? What is it? What are your beliefs about yourself? So it took us a little bit to really uncover what he was thinking about himself, especially when you start this process of conscious creation. And in the beginning, you have actually no idea what you're thinking. It's like, oh my God, I have no idea. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time to really uncover what's going on and what your beliefs are. But we will dig deeper and deeper, and we will figure it out. And then you just switch your assumptions, you shift them, you create the reality of, I am loved. My partner wants to support me. And relationships are actually easy. There is so much out there. Relationships are hard work. If you want to have that assumption play out in your life, keep thinking like that. If you don't want that, you go for relationships are easy. My relationship is evolving every day. Everything is perfect. My relationship is perfect. When you keep persisting in these kind of thoughts until they become assumptions and beliefs, your whole relationship reality will change, as it did with my client. As I said, he was shouldering the weight for everything, no support, nothing. It was almost like having a third child in his family. And now his wife is his true equal, biggest supporter, biggest cheerleader, has his back at home, has his back when he comes home, is totally like exhausted from work or something. And he can discuss on his level with her. That's the biggest thing. It's not that he's sitting there alone with all his thoughts. He actually has found a new true friend. He can discuss on his level these thoughts and, things that are running through his mind. So it's powerful. And if you want something like that, really look at these 3 areas, shift your assumptions. And I said in the beginning, perhaps you don't think it's possible for you. That is also an assumption you have to shift. Anything and everything is possible. I have seen it with countless clients. Relationships have improved. People came back. Crazy shifts through this inner work that we are doing. If you're looking for more support, please reach out to me. I have several offers. I have something like a mini mindset tribe for people who are just starting with their business and make basically up to 2K a month. You can join that. We of course talk everything business, but also life and mindset related, because you can only run a very successful business if you have the support in your life. It's like a true strong support system, and your personal relationships play a gigantic factor in that. If you don't feel supported by your spouse, know that this can massively sabotage your whole success and of course your own happiness and fulfillment. If you are not feeling loved and supported at home, this is not really a life I recommend to you. Like, there needs to be a shift, because this will not make you happy. So this is the Mindset Tribe. There is my expansion mastermind where you can join other high-level leaders already further ahead on their journey. And you can of course also get one-to-one coaching, private coaching from me. If you have any questions, send me an email, reach out to me, and please subscribe, like, comment, ask your questions in the comments also around relationships if you have a specific scenario. And if I see a really good question that makes sense to make a video about, I will definitely do that or respond to you in the comments. So that's it for today. You can change anything and everything in your relationship. Please do that, because it will make or break your business. The support you have at home, the love and connection you feel at home is crucial.